Before this video starts, I just want to tell you that a lot of this will be a voiceover because for the entire 3 days of recording, I was talking into the side of the microphone instead of the top of the microphone, and that caused me to cut out so much to the point that it was kind of unbearable to listen to when I was editing. To be honest, I thought talking into the side was fine with dynamic microphones, but I'm no expert, so whatever. I'm just the perfect YouTuber, believe me. Anyways, if you enjoy the video, consider subscribing, and let's begin. So I started off with the most entertaining task of all, punching wood, because isn't that just the most amazing content? I craft myself some wooden materials, and for my first fight of the game, I gracefully swing my axe, and I don't miss the chicken 2 times in a row, before going back to get some more wood. Panda! After getting temporarily distracted, I begin to look for a cave to begin mining, get myself some stones, make myself some stone tools, and make myself a furnace to begin cooking food. While doing this, I am ambushed from behind because I have absolutely no awareness whatsoever, but thankfully I only lose over half my health to a singular zombie. Now I actually have a little story of how I died in my last Minecraft world. You see, I had been looking for some illagers that had likely spawned underground during a raid, and eventually gave up. But whenever I dug up to try to get to the surface, there was just water. I see a magma block where there's an air pocket, so I decided to just risk it and try swimming up, but I'm in an underwater cave, I can't find my way back, and I die with so much loot on me. So as you could see right there, I wasn't making that mistake again. I'm back at the surface and it's nighttime, but I'm trying to look for a naturally generated cave instead of digging down, but two creepers come out of nowhere to jump me, and as they're my worst enemy, I try not to get too close. I'm still running through the forest without eating for some reason. I look into my inventory because of a visual glitch, and a skeleton just assassinates me, and like a fool, I jump to run away in response, but died to fall damage. Now to be fair, I didn't know they do so much damage. That was like 4.5 hearts. So I reflexively jumped to get away and I had half a heart left, so I fell to my death. At this point, to be honest, I'm already contemplating quitting this challenge, thinking it's not worth all the stress. I decide to give it another try though and head in the direction I think I died at. I jump into the water trap and begin to start panicking, thinking a skeleton is going to come and bow me to my death. But I try to stay calm and turn around to realize I can easily get out. I finally start to see the light from my torches I placed earlier before my death, start looking around and searching, and there I finally find my loot. After reorganizing my supplies, I see an enderman in the corner of my eye. I know how annoying it can be to get pearls for the end, so I take the risk and begin my fight. I get the crit, get another hit, but the damage is just too much and I get completely destroyed. Okay, so I definitely overestimated the power of the stone axe. I'm not really sure what I was really expecting there. I get my stuff back again, start cooking some food, craft myself a boat, and begin sailing across to once again continue my search for a cave, which I do eventually find not long after. I begin to start traversing the ravine very slowly, find some iron, and start smelting to get myself some better tools. I make my way down into a mine shaft and begin exploring, looking through the chests, and I don't find anything too great except a golden apple. I plan to get all the gold I can find so I can gamble with the piglins in the nether for some ender pearls. I enter another underwater cave for a second time and immediately run away in fear of reliving my previous tragedy. I'm very quickly obtaining iron and getting myself some good armor, starting with a chest plate and some pants, so I only need a helmet for a full set. I'm now bridging over to a wall to get to the bottom of the cave, and I do a strategic falling maneuver to get myself down there. I'm very glad it worked out. After getting a little more iron, I am now fully geared up and ready to start looking for diamonds. I also do another strategic maneuver to get deeper into the cave, and it works out pretty well if I do say so myself. I engage in a great battle with a skeleton, only to discover that it was protecting some diamonds, and and I quickly kill the other one that's trying to catch me off guard. There's so many monsters in the cave, and I'm getting pretty tired of them. Just die already. Please, man, just die. 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 I see some more diamonds, and in total, I get not one, not two, but three diamonds. But with my great intellect, I go back to see if there are any else hidden, and boom, there's one more. That's just enough for a diamond pickaxe and a diamond shovel. I don't actually craft a shovel, but I do craft the pickaxe so I can get obsidian, and I then stumble onto the biggest cave I've personally ever seen, but I know that in a cave with much reward, death lies in the distance. So I start clearing the cave of all the monsters and placing torches. Just look at my elite PvP skills against these two NPCs. Aren't I incredible? More diamonds. I'm pretty anxious, so I pace around looking for creepers and placing torches for good measure before I finally get the courage to finally mine the diamonds. Fight, 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 fight. The diamonds. Diamonds. Now I've created a bucket and I was trying to collect water and lava to make obsidian, but it took me a few attempts to remember that you have to find the source to collect it. I probably spent over 10 minutes failing to get obsidian, but I did finally succeed, though unfortunately I wasn't recording. And at this point, the footage cuts off for like 30 minutes because I was trying to save storage by pausing my recording and I forgot to unpause. But basically, after feeling satisfied with my mining endeavors, I decided to make my way back to the surface. Surely me almost dying to a creeper while AFK wasn't the reason why. That was actually about everything that I did on the first day. So the next day I log back in with the goal of building a house, but I end up spotting a village and immediately robbing them of their food. But it's okay because I later plan to pay them very handsomely. I find a cleric in one of their homes, and the village becomes a backup plan in the case that I can't get ender pearls from the piglins. There will be plenty of stick trades from the Fletcher for emeralds, and a lot of breeding, and a lot of ender pearls. With that plan in mind, I start to begin gathering wood to build myself a nice little home near the village. The construction of my house begins, and as the elite architect that I am, I start building the greatest non-square house you will ever see. You can see the little edges I put around so you can't call it squared. Fun fact about me is that I was born into a family of carpenters, so this was just second nature to me. I'm getting pretty close to finishing my house, which is looking pretty good so far. For the final touches, I built a little path to my home, and I have to say, it looks great in my opinion. With that finished, it's time to build my nether portal, and no, I'm not standing there Googling the dimensions to a portal. It just comes to mind all of a sudden, and I get to building it because I'm a Minecraft expert, and I don't need to Google simple things like this. Like, why are you questioning me? Why are you questioning me? Like, I, I must have been on a short snack break. I don't, that's probably why I'm standing there. But finally, I put the final touches on it and realize I have no flint and steel. I go out to look for some gravel, only to find a jackpot of a mountain. I mean, there was like so much iron up here. I got like over a stack of iron from the mountain. It was so great. I have to abandon some of the iron though at one point because I need to start getting the gravel I need, and I get some extra with the intent to make some arrows for the Ender Dragon fight later on. Now that I've got myself a flint and steel, it's time to finally step foot into the Nether, a place that I've only been to maybe one time in my Minecraft career. I know that sounds crazy, but if you didn't watch my first ever video, just know that this is my first time actually playing Minecraft for an extended period of time after mostly watching it most of my life. I'd play for like 2 days and just get off forever, and then 1 year later I just go on to Minecraft again for 2 days and never again. As an elite speed bridger, Minecraft decided to spawn me on a lava island because they're confident I can get to the Nether Fortress without falling into the giant pit of lava. Just look at these skills. I see a zombie pigman and my brain processes it as a piglin for some reason, so I throw my gold for no reason. Here's an actual piglin and it starts running at me in a burning rage, so I retreat in order to gather myself before the gambling begins. I drop my first piece of gold to start, and while he's distracted, I try building a dirt wall to block him off from getting to me, but I'm too slow in doing it, and I retreat once more because I wasn't intending on killing it at the time. And because third time's the charm, I build a hole for him, but he dodges it, so I try to punch him into it. Just get in the hole, please. Please. It fails pretty badly. I make my way up and discover the fortress, which I should have seen earlier, but I have no idea how I didn't notice it. And I now enter the fortress for maybe my first time ever. I'm not sure if I entered it the last time I was in the nether. I find the blaze spawner pretty fast and engage in a fight with the blazes. That is my first blaze rod. I maintain my distance and go back in to fight, and just sit with me for a little bit and watch me fight these blazes. Now I'm back, and the blazes are starting to own me, not gonna lie, especially when more than one of them spawns. I start getting pretty low, so I start to run to eat, but a blaze just snipes me, so I again start running and just narrowly dodge a skeleton's attempt to assassinate me. I would have died if I got hit by that arrow. The reflexes, the reflexes. The skeleton falls, so I retreat even further away. I fully heal up, and I get about 3 more blaze rods for a total of 9. I planned on getting a bit more, but the blazes were starting to prove a challenge when they flew away before I killed them, so I make my way all the way back to the portal and return home. I start making some boats so that I can trap piglins in them to start gambling. I mean trading, not gambling. I would never do that. And I begin my second nether operation, Operation Gamble. I'm looking for a new piglin since I accidentally killed the one from earlier, but the blazes want revenge and start sniping at me. I find a piglin pretty close by and trap it in a boat before I go over to find the blazes shooting fire at me, but the wither skeleton comes from behind, so I run away. For some reason, my brain told me to go fight it just to get it out of the way, but then now there's actually 2 of them, so that's not very good. I get off a good little attack at first and try to maintain some distance, but I end up getting hit. In hindsight, I should have just kept running, but after I defeated one of them, I decided to go for the other while disregarding my health, and while I think I've succeeded, the fight ends in a draw. That is now death number 3 in my journey to beating the game. Luckily, where I died was pretty much next to my portal, so I get there pretty quickly and retrieve my things, and I can now begin to trade. Now, I've never actually gambled before, but I'm starting to understand that meme about how 90% of gamblers stop before hitting big, and I'm pretty confident that with almost a stack of gold, I've got to get at least a few pearls. I mean, I looked up and found out there was like a 2% chance of getting them, but I was feeling pretty lucky that day. I see an Enderman near me, and although I get early game flashbacks, I'm now suited up and ready for battle, and that's what I do. And the results show themselves. I also get a pearl, so that was nice. Now I'm getting pretty low on gold, and I'm getting very worried at this point because I was not expecting to suffer like this. Just silently begging the game to just give me the pearls, even if it's just like two, and I can just say that it was worthwhile. But it's just not happening. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. Get out of here, Piglin. Just let me gamble my life away in peace. What's wrong with you? It's revealed to me that I've got nothing, and for that, die, Piglin. Die. I can't believe that I spent all that time sitting there, waiting for absolutely nothing. I head back home after failing the operation and come home across a baby pigman that has broken into my home. I just decide to go to sleep as it eerily watches me as I sleep. And I just gotta let him know that I can adopt him. Yes, I know you're an orphan after your parents abandoned you just like this, but I just mortgaged my house. I gambled all of my life savings on getting those ender pearls, and I'm gonna get kicked out soon, so you just can't stay here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, little man. Now back to reality. I make an enchanting table, and I've pretty much given up on getting level 30 enchantments after I lost so many levels from dying to the wither skeletons from earlier. I get some basic Prot 1 enchants on an extra set of armor, but I keep them in a chest to save for later for when I'm fighting the dragon. I craft a diamond sword and get sharpness 1 on that, and then I use the remaining diamonds on some boots because why not? Now I'm back in the nether mining gold because I'm now addicted to gambling and I lose again. My credit from borrowing money is just down the drain now. Now, I'm not sure what happened, but when I left the nether, I think something killed all of my villagers, so I was having a pretty bad day. But I ended up finding a new village pretty close by, so that was convenient. And now it was time to put my backup plan into action and get the villager trades up and running, so I start getting wood that I can turn into sticks, trade with a Fletcher to get emeralds, and use those emeralds to max out the cleric so I can get the pearl trades. I destroy all of the job blocks that I can find in the village, build a little temporary shack to store my things, although you could hardly call it a home to be honest. I got a villager, the cleric job, and then another the Fletcher. I didn't get the stick trade on the first try, but after breaking and replacing the fletching table again, I ended up getting it. The trading had now begun, and I started getting emeralds to level up my cleric, and this cycle continued for a while of me just going back and forth between them and slowly leveling them up. The biggest problem came when the stick trade got blocked because I had traded with the villager so many times, and because of that, I planned to expand the village by giving the villagers bread to breed because there weren't that many villagers here, and I would end up needing a lot of villagers to get enough emeralds for various things. Soon, I finally leveled up my villager from a journeyman to an expert, and there it was, the pearl trade, a discounted 4 emeralds for 1 pearl. Trading ensued once again as I spammed stick trades to get emeralds for the pearls, and at last, I had obtained a total of 12 pearls that I turned into 12 Eyes of Ender. And although I could technically start looking for a stronghold, I got a little greedy and attempted to get a good enchanted book trade from a librarian, and it actually went pretty well. After breaking and replacing the lectern a few times, I came across a sharpness 4 book for 41 emeralds and a book. While getting some sugar cane, I came across a third village a decent ways away, robbed them of their horse, and after a little back and forth trading, I was able to get the sharpness 4 book. With my departure of looking for the stronghold coming near, I returned to my old home to retrieve any important items that I left there, disenchanted my sword, built a max level enchanting table without looking up how to, of course, and the greatest thing of all, enchanting sharpness 4 onto my diamond sword. As I turned around and saw the golem, I thought that I might as well try it out. And after thinking about it for a few seconds, I build up thinking I'm high enough, get a few hits in, but it goes up a block and hits me for 4 hearts, and this makes me want to rethink my decision. It's fine though, because I try again a second time and succeed as a matter of course. With that, I'm feeling pretty accomplished and decide to log off, aiming to defeat the Ender Dragon on the 3rd day. Day 3. I'm logged in and ready to beat the game for the first time ever. You see, 95% of the people watching this video probably have beat the game before, but I'm in the 5% that have not. But don't worry, I'm joining that 95% very soon. I start getting myself flint in order to craft more arrows, although I traded for some as well. I also have to get myself a lot of blocks for when I'm building in the end to destroy the crystals, and after organizing my inventory, I am now able to say goodbye to this village, which has been a crucial segment in my journey towards beating the game. With that, my first Eye of Ender is thrown, and I'm on my way to the stronghold. Actually, I'm coming back to the village because I forgot to bring a bed with me. Let me say it again. I'm now on my way to the stronghold. And I mistakenly throw my Eye of Ender, but luckily it doesn't break. I don't go that long of a distance from the village before I'm able to find the location of the stronghold, and another eye going down tells me all I need to know. I start digging down to find the stronghold, but I forget to get a bucket of water for the end, so I go back up to the surface. I really am forgetting a lot of things. I'm back to mining again, and I end up finding a cave. I travel down, wondering if I'm going towards the stronghold, and I stupidly throw an Eye of Ender and it goes through the wall. So that's gone forever. I try digging again to find the stronghold, but I'm getting impatient. And in this extremely small space, I throw another one for no good reason. I couldn't even see where it went. I don't even know what I was thinking. I'm back to the surface because I can't find the stronghold, so I decide to throw another eye to make sure that it's actually here. Very smart, Corversity. Very. I throw one more just to be absolutely sure. In hindsight, I've been acting incredibly dumb throwing all these eyes, but I didn't even know what I was doing. Believe me, man, I'm not a bad player. Just keep watching. I mean, I guess I am a bad player, but that's why you're watching. Maybe. I start digging again and. Oh, okay, hold on, Corversity, please, man. You're not supposed to be this dumb, right? Bro. 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 Why? Thankfully, that one didn't break, but I'm now on 9 pearls, and unless I get lucky, I probably won't have enough eyes to get to the end. I return to the village again because I'm out of torches and I need them to dig safely, and after a long time of errors, I stumble upon the stronghold. I find an efficiency 4 and protection 3 book in the chests, so that's pretty good, along with a sharpness 3 book, but that's pretty useless at the moment. I find another library with a power 4 book, and that's about the best thing that I could have found because I brought so many arrows with me. I take a few stairs through the stronghold, and there it is, the portal. Which, of course, I don't have enough pearls for. I was having a great time, and I'm sure I was smiling when I saw this too. I'm filling in the portal anyways because I'm planning on coming back, since getting 3 pearls from trades won't take too long, and I leave a chest with some of the things that I plan to take in the case that I were to die while in the end. Like I said, it doesn't take very long for me to get the emeralds, to get the pearls. I craft the remaining Eyes of Ender that I need, and I'm now back at the portal, where I add the power 4 onto my bow, and I add prot 3 onto my leggings. With the final 3 Eyes of Ender, I am now ready to embark on the end of my journey. Now, I preferably would have liked to have some golden apples, but I wasted all of my gold on the piglins. Don't gamble, kids. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. After setting my spawn point, I enter the end for the first time, and of course, they just have to test my elite building skills once again. Just look at this mastery, look at this speed. Once I finally get to the main island, I immediately start pillaring up the first tower I see. I make it up to the top, build a little bit of way so that I don't blow myself up, and shoot. 1 down. 2 down. 3 down. 4 down. I start looking for the dragon just in case before shooting at the next crystal. 5 down. I take a few shots at the dragon when I see it getting close, but I miss them all, and I'm struggling to hit the farthest crystal, so I switch to the one nearer to me, but I'm oblivious to the one obvious detail. I switch to the farther tower and finally hit it, and I dodge the dragon's breath it sends at me. I've now taken 7 down, and I'm starting to think I need to get even closer to hit this crystal, but the dragon's getting pretty close, so I'm trying to stay away. I land my first hit on the dragon, but my aim's terrible, so I miss every single other shot. I decide to go down the tower so that I can get closer to the other crystal, but I'm now getting attacked by Enderman. I take that one out and move to a different pillar and start building up, and I'm wary of the dragon that's near, but I start taking my shots anyway, but I'm not hitting the crystal for a very obvious reason that wasn't clicking to me at that moment. I'm not sure why it took so long for it to click. I switch to the crystal farther away and I end up hitting that one. And at this point, I realize that I need to build to the one right next to me so that I can actually hit it, but I've got to keep checking for the dragon in case it comes to hit me off. You can see me pacing back and forth a few times before shooting the crystal from above and begin retreating back, but by then, the dragon is onto me and shoots its breath onto my pillar, and I'm definitely not doing a water clutch because I've never done one before, so I just slowly descend the pillar with water. There's just one more crystal to take care of, and I build over to it in order to take it down. You can't shoot through that. Just break it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now you shoot. There you go, Corversity. That's nice. Now that all the crystals have been taken care of, I have made a strict policy that I would just bow this dragon to death because I'm not going to risk the possibility of trying to use my sword and getting flung and then failing to water clutch. It's not cowardly, it's just using your strengths to the best of your ability. And in this case, I happen to have a powerful bow. I also have a million arrows, so no matter how bad my aim is, it is certain victory. So it's a pretty drawn out battle of me just waiting for the dragon to descend, which I can get free hits off of before it finally lands. And I'm starting to get the dragon pretty low at this point. At this moment, I decide that beating the dragon without hitting it with a sword at least once wasn't worth it, so I ran in for the final blow. I've done it. After many long years, I have conquered the dragon. A foe which had seemed so far from me had now been vanquished by my sword. I stood and took in the glory. And I had to get a few screenshots in, not gonna lie, before finally I jumped in to end the game. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far and you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.